quiet after us, the sound of one heart beating. I delete your number, but my fingers still know the dance they do across the keys. She sent out of my favorite sweatshirt, but the cotton remembers what it means. I take my coffee black now, no cream, no sugar, no second mug warming on the ledge. I'm practicing the art of unbecoming, unveiling you from every edge. And it's not a riot, it's a quiet demolition, brick by brick, memory by memory. It's returning all the colors to their boxes. It's forgetting how your name felt in my throat. It's the slowest, gentlest unraveling, the careful unknitting of a soul. This is the art, the holy art of unbecoming whole. I move the bed to face a different door, so the sunrise hits a stranger wall. I play my music loud to fill the silence where your laughter used to sprawl. I'm changing all the passwords, one by one, erasing us from every login screen. A quiet, patient archaeology of what we were and what I means. And it's not a riot, it's a quiet demolition, brick by brick, memory by memory. It's returning all the colors to their boxes. It's forgetting how your name felt in my throat. It's the slowest, gentlest unraveling, the careful unknitting of a soul. This is the art, the holy art of unbecoming whole. Sometimes I find a piece of you I missed, a stray guitar pick, a bookmark in a page. And for a second I'm the girl who was adored. Then I gently put it in the past quiet cage and continue the work. And it's not a riot, it's a quiet demolition, brick by brick, memory There's an echo where your voice used to be, a hollow in the air. Our private jokes, they wander dusty streets, with nobody left there. Called me sunshine when I chased the blues away. I called you anchor when the world would sway. Blue hour meant the time we'd talk as day would fade. Now the dictionary of us is out of date. The nicknames hang like faded signs on vacant shops. Our secret handshake, now the memory stops. Our language became a ghost town. Silence is the mayor now. Ever remember when it's just an empty storefront on a forgotten street, in a forgotten vow? The whispers of I love you are just ghosts in the rafters, and forever is the wind through a broken pane. Yeah, our language became a ghost town, and I'm the only one who speaks it, whispering your name. That song we claimed, I have to skip it on the radio. The cafe where we always go, I take the long way home. Our spot is just a bench with peeling paint, holding memories too heavy for its faint. The code we built to navigate the world outside has lost its key and meaning has died. Our language became a ghost town. Silence is the mayor now. Ever remember when it's just an empty storefront on a forgotten street, in a forgotten vow? The whispers of I love you are just ghosts in the rafters, and forever is the wind through a broken pane. Yeah, our language became a ghost town, and I'm the only one who speaks it, whispering your name. I like someone new, and they asked me what's wrong. I almost told them in our tongue, but the words just turned to sand on my lips. A civilization lost to time's eclipse, and I realized I am the last native speaker of a dead country, the final resident, packing memories in a silent hurry. Our language became a ghost town. Silence is the mayor now. Ever remember when it's just a the silence, in the rain. I saw a for sale sign in my heart today, on the lot where our vocabulary used to play. I'll let the weeds grow over every syllable, and let the quiet become habitable. Corner to corner. No, that's not right. It used to fold so easily. This map is worn at all the creases, from tracing routes with eager fingers. The coffee stain from that rainy Tuesday, the corner torn where my hope still lingers. Here's the mountain range of our first fight, the valley where we made our peace, the dotted line of late night highways where our whispered nothings saw release. But the legends faded in the sunlight, and the north has shifted on its own. This territory's now disputed, and I'm trying to fold it up alone. How do you fold a map of us when every crease holds a memory's dust? The mountains won't lie flat, the rivers bleed blue, and every fold just brings me back to you. I try the trifold, try the accordion pleat, but the corners rebel. The center won't meet this geography of love. This cartography of pain just keeps unfolding. Again and again. There's the beach where we buried future promises in sand that slipped right through our hands, and the city grid where we got lost together, following invisible, shifting sands. The borders blurred between what was and wasn't. A dotted line becomes a solid wall. The scale's all wrong, 1 inch to heartbreak, and I feel 10 miles tall and 2 inches small, 'cause the compass spins with indecision. True north was just your eyes on mine. Now I'm holding this expansive feeling, trying to make it pocket-sized. How do you fold a map of us when every crease holds a memory's dust? The mountains won't lie flat, the rivers bleed blue, and every fold just brings me back to you. I try to trifold, try the accordion pleat, but the corners rebel. The center won't meet this geography of love. This cartography of pain just keeps unfolding. Again and again. Maybe some maps aren't meant for folding. Maybe some loves aren't meant to store. Maybe they're meant to stay spread open on the floor until the edges fray and the colors fade to gray, and the landscape changes with the passing of the days. And one morning you wake up and it's just paper. So this is how you fold a map of us. You smooth the creases of the trust. You let the mountains fall, let the rivers run dry. You stop asking the impossible why. You make the final fold, not with hope but with grace. And you put it in a box, in a distant place. This geography of love, this cartography of me and you, just becomes something I once knew. Corner to corner, smooth out the past. There, it fits in the drawer at last. The sound of a drawer closing gently silence. Headlights dim to black. I know this route by heart. There ain't no turning back. Past the Johnson's picket fence, the Smith's old maple tree. My breath fogs up the window, just you and me in memory. The neighborhood's asleep, the world is painted blue, but there's one house still holding light, and I know it's you. Your pickup's in the driveway, the one I helped you buy, and a yellow lamp is burning beneath the midnight sky. And it's the last light on your porch, the one I'm not allowed to see anymore. It's painting shadows on the floorboards where I used to stand, right outside your screen door. It's a beacon in the darkness, but it's not calling me home. It's just a reminder of the warmth I've outgrown. Yeah, it's the last light on your porch, and I'm just a ghost in a car on the street in the dark, watching from afar. Is that your silhouette that moves behind the shade, or just the curtain dancing in the breeze that night it's made? I count the steps I memorized, from sidewalk to your kiss. 10 steps to paradise, now 10 steps to the abyss. I see the chair where we drink coffee, watching morning break. Now it's just an empty throne for every dumb mistake. My key's on my keychain still, but it's a skeleton now, just a piece of mail with a broken vow. And it's the last light on your porch, the one I'm not allowed to see anymore. It's painting shadows on the floorboards where I used to stand, right outside your screen door. watching from afar. Shout your name, but my hands are frozen on this wheel, paralyzed by love and shame. 'Cause that light ain't a welcome, it's a memorial for the love that we endured. And I'm just here doing my nightly vigil for a ghost that won't say a word. And it's the last light on your porch, the one I'm not allowed to see anymore. It's painting shadows of the girl I used to be right outside your screen door. And I'm putting this call in drive. I watch it shrink in my rearview mirror, a tiny golden disappearing star. I turn the corner and your light is gone. Klick har ekalog entry 1. The sound of your breathing before the sun. My hand still reaches for your side of the bed and finds the cold where your warmth used to spread. My brain's a museum in the half-light of dawn, curating 1,000 good mornings now gone. This one, you brought me coffee, a kiss on my shoulder. This one we argued, then you hugged me and told her, no matter the weather, you're my sun. Now I'm just cataloging what you've undone. I'm building an archive of good mornings, pressing them flat like flowers in a book, labeling each one with the date and the feeling, with the trembling hand and a desperate look. From the first sunrise to the last Tuesday, every This shelf holds the silence of the mornings after fights, where we'd speak in touches in the soft morning lights. This drawer's for the lazy Sundays, tangled in the sheets, trading dreams like secrets, your heartbeat counting beats. And here, under glass, with a handle with care sign, is the morning you looked at me and said you'll always be mine. The most fragile artifact, the one that can't be true, because the archivist is alone, remembering you. I'm building an archive of good mornings, pressing them flat like flowers in a book, labeling each one with the date and the feeling, with the trembling too loud. I'm whispering to ghosts while wearing a shroud. Maybe tomorrow I'll miss the sunrise and forget to open this archive to your eyes. Maybe tomorrow I'll just make my tea and let a good morning be. I'm closing the archive of good mornings, letting the flowers crumble in the book. The labels are fading, the dates are blurring, with a steady hand and a final love. From the first sunrise to the last Tuesday, every good morning my love lives in my head, but alive with no visitors. It's just a fancy way of saying day. Click, word, swan. Good morning to just me. Sound of grocery store, and your big door slide open, fluorescent heaven. I came for milk and bread, not for resurrection. I for the cereal you loved, the sugar dusted kind. My hand just hovers where your hand would intertwine with mine. I hear a laugh that sounds ghosts aren't in haunted houses. They're in the harmless, holy, daily spaces. In the mundane choices that leave no traces except on a broken heart that still espouses the religion of your name. In the cathedral of the mundane, I grab my milk, I grab my bread, and I flee the living dead. Your ghost is in the grocery store, but I'm not looking anymore. I'm leaving you on aisle 9 with the cookies and the wine. Your ghost can have the grocery store. You can haunt every shelf by yourself. I'm checking out with my sanity and a new reality. This card is mine alone to steal from now on. Your ghost is gone. The automatic door slides shut behind me. The sun is weirdly bright, you see. I put the bags in my car just for one. I drive away, and I won't be haunted by the honey, and it won't be. Where's you? Dear, who I was when your eyes were my mirror. I found a picture of us laughing on the pier, and I barely recognize the girl who's smiling here. Her hair is wild, her eyes are bright, she's leaning in to hear a secret from the boy who held her world, who held her dear. I wanna warn her, tell her run, but she'd just shake her head and kiss the very lips that left her lying here instead. She didn't know the ending, only knew the sweet, sweet start. She gave you all the blueprints to the chambers of her heart. So this is a love letter to the version of me you love, the one who was brave enough to be in kitchens, who sang off key and loud, who stood so tall and straight and wasn't bent and bowed. Oh, I miss her fire, I miss her fearless, trusting light. I'm writing to her from the aftermath of night. I'm sorry that I lost her when I lost your hand. I'm trying, darling ghost of me, to understand. wore her hope like perfume, left a trail of sparkles where she'd go. She saw your flaws as constellations, not as warnings in the snow. She wrote you poems in the margins of her boring workday notes. She wore that dress you liked, the one with the little floating boats. She's archived now, a museum piece behind a velvet robe, a beautiful exhibit of a girl who learned to cope by forgetting how to be the one who loved without the fear, who met your gaze and didn't see the ending drawing near. So this is a love letter to the version of me you loved, the one who was brave enough to be unloved, who danced in kitchens, who sang off key and loud, who stood so tall and straight and wasn't bent and bowed. Oh, I miss her fire, I miss her fearless, trusting light. I'm writing to her from the aftermath of night. I'm sorry that I lost her when I lost your hand. I'm trying, darling ghost of me, to understand. Did she die with your goodbye, or did I bury her alive? Under should have known betters, and how could I be so naive? I've been digging through the rubble with these tired, bleeding hands, trying to find one glowing ember in the cold, accusing sands. And I think I feel warm, a tiny pulse beneath the dirt, a memory of a girl who knew her worth before she gave the ledger of her worth to you. And this is a love letter to the version of me you loved, the one who is still here, though she's been shoved. I can dance in kitchens, I can sing off key, I am tall and straight, and the bow is in the string, not me. I see her fire, I see her fearless, trusting light. I'm not writing from the night, I'm reaching across the dark to take her hand, and finally I understand. Your love was just a season, a climate that she grew within, but she's the perennial, and I am her gardener again. I sign it, love me. No crash of cymbals, no thunderous fall, just the slow, quiet tuning of a lonely hall. It wasn't the slammed door, the shouted name. It was the morning you forgot to ask about the dream I'd had. It was the text left unread at 2 a.m. when I was typing out my fears and feeling sad. The symphony began with a single sour note, your eyes glazing over at the funny anecdote I'd been saving up all day to share with you. The first chair violin of I've got better things to do. This is the symphony of small letdowns, the silent overture to a love breaking down, a minor key of forgotten promises and plans, played by the trembling, disappointed hands of someone counting every flinch and every sigh as the melody of goodbye. No grand finale, no dramatic scene, just the quietest heartbreak you've ever seen. Second movement, all the birthdays blurred, the gifts you bought with obligation, not a thought or word of who I really was, just what was quick and near. Another muted trumpet blast of you're not worth the cheer. The third, the empty space you left beside me in the crowd, the way your laughter never found me, never called my name out loud. A thousand tiny ruptures in the fabric of our rust, each one a piccolo of distrust. This is the symphony of small letdowns, the silent virtue to a love breaking down, a minor key of forgotten promises and plans, played by the trembling, disappointed hands of someone counting every flinch and every sigh as the melody of goodbye. No grand finale, no dramatic scene, just the quietest heartbreak you've ever seen. And I beg the universe for one clear, brutal blow, something I could point to and say there, that's why we go. But you only gave me feathers when I needed stones. You killed me softly with your mediocre tones until my love, the grand piano in the center of the stage, was just a dusty relic of a never knew. Different song where I'm the composer and I'm strong. No grand finale, neither for the old sad tune. The conductor has left room. Silence is the sweetest sound, and the dissonance finally falls to the ground. 5 p.m., the golden hour, and the ghost in my kitchen. The kettle sings the same old song, high and lonesome sting. I pull the china from the shelf, the one with the daisy dream. My hands move on their own accord, a muscle memory dance. 1 spoon of Earl Grey in your cup, a pointless sweet romance. I set it on the woven mat, the one you brought from home, right by the window where we'd watch the evening softly roam. The steam curls up to touch the light, a spirit thin and blue, a daily little seance where I still make tea for 2. I still make tea for 2. The 1 cup's bound to cool. It's just a habit of the heart, a tender, stupid rule. I pour your memory a seed in the fading afternoon, and toast to all the empty air inside this quiet room. It's not hope, it's not denial, it's just what my hands do. At 5 o'clock, with trembling grace, I still make tea for 2. I'll drink mine while it's scalding hot, a punishment and prayer, while yours just sits there growing cold, a monument of care. I'll talk to you about my day, the small and stupid stuff, and in the silence I can almost hear you say, "That's rough." I watch the honey swirl and sink, the way you liked it sweet, a teaspoon of a future that we'll never get to eat. The ritual is all that's left, the ghost of how are you, a phantom in my porcelain. I still make tea for 2. I still make tea for 2. The 1 cup's bound to cool. It's just a habit of the heart, a tender, stupid rule. I pour your memory a seed in the fading afternoon, and toast to all the empty air inside this quiet room. It's not hope, it's not denial, it's just what my hands do. at 5 o'clock with trembling grace. I still make tea for 2. Maybe tomorrow I'll be strong and only boil what I need. Maybe I'll pack the extra cup away and let the habit bleed. But for today, this amber light, this quiet aching right, is all I have to hold the shadows of our shared extinguished light. So let the kettle sail. Yeah, I still make tea for 2 and watch the second one cool. It's a cemetery custom for the love we thought was foolproof. I pour a phantom in a seat in the fading afternoon and learn the taste of loneliness inside this quiet room. One day my hands will learn the math and this will no longer be true. But today I still make tea for 2. I pour yours down the sink, watch the leaves swirl and flee, like all the words we never got to say, like you, like me. I dry the cup and put it back, a promise on the shelf. Maybe tomorrow I'll just make some for myself.
My map is marked in red. Here be dragons, here be memories, here be you. I take the long way around to avoid our corner bar, where we dissect our dreams beneath a flickering neon star. The street light on Elm Street still holds our silhouette from the night you kissed me, laughing. My whole life's compass reset. The north of this town's a park bench where you said you might love me. The south is the diner where you said you needed to be free. My east is your old apartment, a museum I can't face. My west is the river where I'm trying to erase your trace. This is the geography of a shared city. smells like cinnamon and loss, and maybe next year the bridge is a monument to every unshed tear. The library's quiet, but the poetry section screams with all the verses you underline, the edges of our dreams. I changed my grocery store, my gym, my coffee shop routine, but the city's arteries all led back to that one scene of you turning your back and walking into the crowd, leaving me here triangulating grief, both quiet and loud. This is the geography of a shared city. Every block's a landmark of what used to be pretty. The sidewalks are fault lines, the crosswalks are scars, navigating heartbreak by the streetlights and the stars. I can't take the subway 'cause it goes past your door. So I'm walking this map, a reluctant explorer of a love turned to topography, a beautiful broken terrain where every step forward just echoes your name. They say you can't get lost in a place you know by heart, but I'm a stranger in my own hometown, playing the saddest part, the tour guide of a ghost town where the main attractions meet, crying at bus stops where you used to wait for me. Maybe I need a new map, maybe I need a new north, maybe I'll sell these coordinates and head on forth. But for now I'm just a cartographer of you. So I aim the borders over ever again. But this is my geography of a shared city, and I'm taking back the landmarks, I'm making them pretty. I'll walk the fault lines till they feel like solid ground. I'll wear the crosswalk scars like a crown. I'll take the damn subway and I'll look straight ahead. I'm not a relic, I'm not walking dead. It's a love turned to history, a landscape I'll reclaim. And one day it won't echo your name. I'll plant new memories at every intersection. I'll be my own main attraction. The city's still here, and so am I. Thought you were the weather, my life, a permanent sky. Turns out you were just passing through. You were the gold of autumn, a breathtaking blazing fire, a canopy of crimson for everyone desire. You were the crispness in the air, the scent of wood smoke new, and I, the foolish earth below, believed your colors true. I thought this was forever, the landscape of my soul, but autumns don't last always. That isn't how they roll. The leaves, they turn to memories, they fell and turned to brown, and suddenly your golden light was letting itself down. 'Cause you were a season, not a climate, a beautiful temporary state. You were the warmth of Indian summer, but you couldn't dictate the forecast of my heart, the ecosystem of my days. You were just a chapter in the sun, a momentary blaze, and I mistook your passing glory for my atmosphere. You were a season, darling, and the season is clear. You were the bloom of springtime, the shock of sudden green, the promise in the thaw, the sweetest I had seen. You were the bud of maybe, the blossom of our might, but spring is just a visitor that fades into the night. It gives way to a harsher sun, a different, slower pace, and leaves the garden wondering, was it all just a race? To get the most of color, to drink the fleeting rain, before the soil remembers what it means to hold the pain. 'Cause you were a season, not a climate, a beautiful temporary state. You were the warmth of Indian summer, but you couldn't dictate the forecast of my heart, the ecosystem of my days. You were just a chapter in the sun, a momentary blaze, and I mistook your passing glory for my atmosphere. You were a season, darling, and the season is clear. And winter came, of course it came. It wasn't your fault. Seasons change, and I stood in the silence, in the wide and bitter cold, and realized the landscape I was standing in was old. And mine, it wasn't dead, just dormant, sleeping 'neath the snow, waiting for a different sun, a different wind to blow. And I
foundation, steady ground, a climate of my own making, where true peace can be found. You were a season, not a climate, a beautiful, necessary phase. You were the fire that taught me how to feel the summer's haze, but you don't dictate the forecast of my heart, the world I'm building now. You were a beautiful chapter, and I'm learning how to be grateful for the harvest and let the leaves decay. You were a season, dreaming, and the season as gracefully gone away. The rain is just the rain now. The rain is just the air, and I am here, a permanent resident of a climate called where.
Backspace. Backspace. Backspace.
I'm scrolling through the document of who I used to be. Control F for your name. There's 1,000 lines I see. I hide every we and us, a sea of blazing blue. And I'm the cold administrator with a terrible job to do. Chapter 1, the meet cute, I rewrite it as a chance. Just two strangers in a coffee shop, no longing, second glance. Chapter 3, the first I love you, I cut it clean away. Replace it with the word that shifted on that unremarkable day. I'm editing you out of the story, deleting the plot lines that made us glory. Find every place, every tender line with something neutral, something benign. It's a brutal revision, a clinical art, taking apart the blueprint of a heart I'm saving as a lone final draft doc, and hitting save on this emotional block. The footnote of your laughter, I put a strike through there. The margin notes you wrote in pen or bleached them from the air. I search for your scent, your touch, the way you said my name, and swap them out for vague discomfort or a passing fleeting shame. I'm fact-checking the memories, the ones that feel too sweet, determining which moments are acceptable to keep. A sterile paragraph remains where passion used to sprawl. A footnote in the index, see the great and painful fall. I'm editing you out of the story, deleting the plot lines that made us glory. Find and replace every tenderloin with something neutral, something benign. It's a brutal revisionist technical art, taking apart the blueprint of a heart I'm saving as a lone final draft doc, and hitting save on this emotional block. The undo button glows so damn bright in the dark. A siren call to resurrect the ember, the spark, to restore the file from the trash where I sent it, to live inside the beautiful, messy, tragic document. No, I select all. I make sure the cursor's right where I want it to be, and I write a brand new sentence that starts with just me. I'm not editing you out, I'm writing you out of the story. This isn't deletion, it's claiming back my territory. I'll find the truth in every line, the good and ugly parts. This is the open heart surgery of mending broken hearts. I'm saving as survivor first draft. I'm letting the tears fall on the keys as my paradox is that to write you out, I have to write you in one last time so I can truly begin. Save us, who I'm becoming. Save.
Walk out of the chamber. Let the last echo die.
But the echo chamber of our fights is a room I'm walking out of tonight. Let you always shatter on the floor. Let you never matter anymore. I'm taking my own voice, run true and tired. And I'm stepping in the silence, the one I most desire. The walls can have the ghosts of every cruel thing we said. I'm building a new room for my future.
In my head. Echo. Echo.
Welcome to the museum no one visits. Admission is a memory, and every exhibit hurts. In Wing A, Hall of Futures, hangs the wedding dress of might, hand-stitched from conversations in the quiet of the night. Beside it in a glass display, 2 rings that never touched a hand, made of someday and forever, built on unstable sand. Please don't flash your camera, the artifacts are frail, like the baby names we whispered that now just tell a tale of a nursery we painted in the colors of the air, a mobile made of promises that turned out not to be there. This is my museum of our almost was, a gallery of ghosts without a cause. Every room is pristine, every label's a lie, telling the story of a love too shy to try. I'm the lonely curator of the could have been, dusting off the dreams we tucked away within, under glass and velvet ropes, and a heavy silent door in the museum of our almost was. Holby domestic bliss, a diorama, small and sweet, a kitchen from a catalog where we would never eat, the table set for 2 with silverware of maybe next year, the coffee pot that never learned to brew away the fear. And here the famous portrait, us at 80 holding hands, painted with the brush of hope on unforgiving sands. The frames are gilded with the guilt of who we couldn't be, a masterpiece of potential that everyone can see is empty. This is the museum of our almost was, a gallery of ghosts without a cause. Every room is pristine, every label's a lie, telling the story of a love too shy to try. museum of our almost was. And some days I charge admission, I give tours of all the pain. I point to the cracks in the porcelain of the we will try again. And some days I wanna take a sledgehammer to every single wall and burn the blueprints and let the almost finally fall. But tonight, I just sit on the marble floor in the hollow of the moor, and I listen to the silence that echoes from before. The museum was built, but this is my museum of our almost was, and I'm retiring from being its cause. I'm turning out the lights in every perfect lonely room, letting the shadows swallow up the gloom. I'm not the curator of the could have been. I'm the archaeologist of where I've been. And one day I'll donate this all to the past and walk out of this museum at last.
The Lars patron is left. The artifacts are sleeping. Tomorrow, maybe, I'll build something for the living. I sent a text at midnight, my soul in 12-point font, 3 little words, a digital dawn. You were online, I saw the little typing appear. My hope inflated, crystal clear. Then it stopped, just vanished from the screen, leaving my message in the vast blue unseen. My heart's a chat window, glowing in the dark, with my last message bold and your sight stark. My heart is a room you left on red. My love is a message hanging by a thread. My love you started, you never chose to end, leaving my I love you with the ghost to pretend. The wallpaper's the memory of your good morning, beautiful. Now it's just a loading circle, spinning pitiful. 'Cause my heart is a room you left on red, and I'm just a notification, filling you with dread. I refresh the app, I close it and reopen, hoping for a glitch, a sign, a token. Maybe your phone died, maybe you fell asleep, maybe your reply is buried somewhere deep. But I see you liked the meme, posted a new story, so you're alive inside your own digital glory. Just not in mine, my DMs are a tomb where my confessions wither in the gloom. My heart is a room you left on red. My love is a message hanging by a thread. The letter you started, you never chose to end, leaving my I love you with the ghost to shutting down the screen. My heart is not an act, it's real, and it's bloody and it's mean, and it's mine. I'm logging out of my own head. Connection lost. Reconnecting to me.
A final resolve to chord the sound of a bird chirping natural, real, outside.
Grief isn't whole. It's a new shape I have to learn to inhabit. A room with different acoustics. I woke up and reached for you in the negative space. Where your body used to warm my side of the bed's embrace. My arm fell through the outline you left upon the sheet. A chalk line silhouette of our defeat. I made the coffee strong and black, the way you'd never take. And the steam curled in the silence, a new pattern it would make. Not the lazy morning question, baby, what's the plan? Just the hollow, quiet settling of what I can understand. I'm learning the shape of your absence, the weight of the air where you're not, the way the sun hits the floorboards in a spot you used to stand aloft. I'm mapping the contours of missing, a geography I didn't choose. Every corner's a memory, every shadow's the blues. I'm learning the shape, the new shape, the strange shape of your absence. And it's a room I live in now. I go to speak and feel the shape of your name in my mouth. A fossil of a feeling pointing south. I watch a movie you would hate and laugh alone at the part
The couch feels longer, colder, a vast and empty place. The door doesn't sigh the same way when it closes in the rain. The space between the raindrops, the pause between the beats, that's where you live now, in the silent, empty seats. I'm learning the shape of your absence, the weight of the air where you're not, the way the sun hits the floorboards in a spot you used to stand alone. I'm mapping the contours of missing, a geography I didn't choose. Every corner's a memory, every shadow's the blues. I'm learning the shape, the new shape, the strange shape of your absence. And it's a room I live in now. And some days that sleep is a vice, it crushes my ribs. Some days it's a cathedral with vast echoing vibes. Some days it's just a coat I can't take off, a second skin. Some days I think I'll never fit the world I'm living in. But a shape is a form, and a form can be known. This absence is a vessel I am slowly growing into. It's not the death of me, it's the new shape of my soul's terrain. And even an empty cup can be filled with rain. I'm knowing the shape of your absence. I'm breathing the air where you're not. The sun hits the floor and it's warm and it's just a sunny spot. I've mapped the contours of missing, this geography what you feel.
No founding address, return to sender. This silence belongs to you. I packed up every quiet hour, every unanswered plea, the space you left between my calls and what you offered me. The hollow where your laughter was, the pause before you'd lie. I wrapped it all in brown paper and I labeled it goodbye. I didn't use a fragile stamp, I didn't seal it with a kiss. This isn't something delicate, this is a closing of the abyss. It's the weight of all the conversations we never got to have, the heaviest of all the loads I'll ever have to back to you. Here's the echo from the night I asked you, are we alright? Here's the text you left unread that kept me up till morning light. Here's the birthday wish you forgot, the plans you let expire, all the kindling of my hope you drowned in your own mire. I've included every sigh that meant more than your words could. Every time I filled your quiet and misunderstood that you were speaking volumes in the language of retreating. I was just a scribe translating my own defeat. I'm returning your silence, unopen this voicemail you sent with your eyes. I'll call you back, that never came. The sunset of your alibis. I'm not your storage unit for the words you couldn't say. I'm not the archive of your maybe and your someday. So here's the box of all your quiet, sealed up tight and true. I'm returning your silence, unopened, back to you. I waited by the mailbox of my heart for your reply. I checked the tracking number of your love until I cried. I thought your quiet was a gift that needed time to bloom, but some packages are empty, just designed to fill a room. Well, my house is getting lighter and my porch is clearing out. I'm done being the warehouse for your emptiness, and all that to you is complete. I have returned your silence, unopened. I cashed the check of your empty-eyed apologies. The I'll call you back is a line that's finally broken. I've seen the sunrise past the sunset alibis. I am not your storage, I am not your shelf. I am the promised master of my own damn self. So here's a reach it for the quiet, the proof it's through. I return your silence, and I'm keeping the return postage for something new. I hear the truck drive off, the porch is just a porch again. The quiet that remains is mine. Plans were so beautiful, drawn in the ink of forever, but the architect has left the site, and the foundation was never. I unfurled the vellum on the dusty wooden floor, the penciled lines of hours, of always and of more. The blueprint of the house we'd build on hope's uneven land, with your study and my sunroom drawn by a hopeful hand. Here's the porch swing for our twilight, here's the nursery wing for maybe every room a perfect prison for a love that turned out
shady, the windows face your future, but the doors all led to me, trapped inside a dream that you could never really see. So I'm burning the blueprints, letting the future go up in smoke, watching the happily ever after choke on the truth of a flame. The architect's name was alive from the start. So I'm holding the match to this work of art. I'm burning the blueprints and building from the ashes of my heart. The faded legend, the scale of our demise, 1 inch to every promise I saw in your eyes. The plumbing of connection, all the pipes were made of rust. The electrical of passion, just a temporary gust. The stress tests we ignored, the corners we had cut, leaning on a framework built on if and maybe and what. The inspector never came, we signed off on the lies and built a phantom mansion right before my very eyes. So I'm burning the blueprints, letting the future go up in smoke, watching the happily ever after choke on the truth of a flame. The architect's name was alive from the start. So I'm holding the match to this work of art. I'm burning the blueprints and building from the ashes of my heart. And for a second I'm afraid, the paper curls and screams, it's the death of every what if, the end of all the dreams. But as the embers rise like fireflies into the darkening sky, I feel a weight lift that I didn't know was sitting by my side. The smoke smells like freedom, not like loss. The hottest fire is the one that melts the frost of a future that was never meant to be. Now the land is clear and it belongs to me. I have burned the blueprints, let the future rise from the smoke. A happily ever after I will poke from the truth of this flame. I am the architect now, from the very start. And this fire is the forge of my brand new art. I'm burning the blueprints and building from the ashes of my heart. The ashes are cooling, gray and soft and clean, a blank slate of earth where our never has been. I'll plant a single seed right where the porch was planned and start again with my own 2 hands.
I'd known it was the last time, I would have paid attention. But it was a Tuesday. You kissed me on the doorstep, a quick peck, no romance. You were running late for work, I didn't get a second chance to memorize the pressure, the warmth against my skin. I just said, have a good day, and I turned and went back in. You wore the gray sweater, the one with the tiny hole. I made a mental note to mend it, to make your mornings whole. We didn't say I love you, we'd already said it twice that week. We were saving it for something special, something that we'd see. The last time was an ordinary Tuesday. No rain, no dramatic music, nothing much to say. The last fight was over dishes, the last laugh at a dumb meme, the last see you soon was casual, just part of the routine. We don't get a finale, we don't get a curtain call, just a Tuesday that turns out to be the last time of all. The last touch, the last glance, all dressed in mundane clothes, is the one that memory holds. Everything else goes. We talked about the weekend, maybe see a movie, maybe not. We settled on, we'll figure it out, a lazy, easy thought. You drank the last of the orange juice, I teased you, you just grinned. And that was it, the final ordinary chapter, where our story thinned. I can't recall your last words, they were probably keys or phone, just the mundane artifacts of a life I'd thought was grown into something permanent, not something that could end on a day so unremarkable I can't even pretend. The last time was an ordinary Tuesday. No rain, no dramatic music, nothing much to say. The last fight was over dishes, the last laugh at a dumb meme, the last see you soon was casual, just part of the routine. We don't get a finale, we don't get a curtain call, just a Tuesday that turns out to be the last time of all. The last touch, the last glance, all dressed in mundane clothes, is the one that memory holds when everything else goes. Now I hung the Tuesdays, I dissect the orange days, looking for a sign, a crack in the ordinary haze. Was there a sigh too long, a hesitation at the door, a silence where your laughter usually filled the floor? No, it was just Tuesday. The cruelest trick that endings ever play is making the last page look like any other page, so you don't know to hold on, you don't know to beg it, stay. So the last time was an ordinary Tuesday, and
and I'm learning to forgive its plain and simple way. The last fight is just a memory of a home that felt alive. The last laugh is proof that we once brine. We don't get a finale crafted for the stage. We get a Tuesday on a random turning page. The last touch, the last glance, I finally let them be. Not a tragedy, just a Tuesday letting go of me. Next Tuesday came, and I was here, and you were. Just a Tuesday I survived. Sound of a deep cleansing breath, the single retro piano. The gentle sound of rain begins. Ooh, Tuesday. The gentle sound of rain, we begin. There's a suture line on my soul, a scar where I was grafted to you. Now, the delicate operation of separation. They said love was two becoming one, a sacred tangled thread, but no one told me where your dreams stopped and where my own began instead. My favorite color changed to yours, my music tasted too. I folded up my jagged edges to fit the shape of you. I'd cite your jokes as my own thoughts, wear your fears like my own coat. My eye became a quiet tenant in the we rode, and it felt like home. This merged terrain, this beautiful blurred space, until I woke up one morning and couldn't find my own face. So I'm searching for the border where I end and we began, tracing the old coastline of the solitary woman I am, with a flashlight and a scalpel and a trembling steady hand. I'm performing my own surgery on this promised land. Where does my laughter stop and your echo start? Where's the seam in this conjoined cavernous heart? I'm drawing the map, I'm pulling the thread back to the moment before we was ever said. This scar tissue's resilient, it's grown over the years, mixing my tears with your logic, your doubts with my fears. I peel back a memory. Was that my dream or yours we chased? Whose ambition left the other feeling misplaced? I find a fossil of my anger buried under your compromise.
hurts. This unraveling, this cellular divide. It feels like I am killing something still alive inside. But that something is a phantom, a ghost of we that clings, and I must separate the muscle from the memory of wings. I am not an annex. I am not a province of your reign. I am a sovereign nation, feeling the first drops of my own rain. The border is a river, and I am wading in to the cold, clean, terrifying water of my own skin. I found the border where I end and we began. I'm standing on the coastline of the woman that I am. I trade in the scalpel for a pen and a new plan. I'm building my own country on this reclaimed land. My laughter is my own sound. My echo's just a beat. The seam is now a river, powerful and deep and sweet. I finished drawing the map. The thread is finally spun. I end where I began. The monitor beeps. Just one rhythm. Mine.